What's going on, everybody? The time has finally arrived. RoboQuest VR dropped for PSVR 2 on November 20th, 2025. It has been one of my most anticipated VR games on my list since its announcement, and I finally have the joy to review what will surely become one of my most played games on PSVR 2. First things first, let me start the video by saying thank you so much to Flat to VR Studios for bringing this game to life. When I first saw the announcement at the VR showcase, I knew from jump that this was going to be a game I would instantly sink my teeth into. A variety of guns, giant robots, and it's a roguelike, I was instantly sold. Now, I do want to take the time to say that I have already done a review on the flat version of RoboQuest, and I will leave a link to that video in the description below. Please give that video a chance to look at if you do not have a VR system yet, but still want to give the game a try. Fair warning, the progress and upgrades that you make on the flat version does not translate to the VR version, so you will have to buy the game twice, but it's still fun nonetheless. Now, let's get on to this review. Let's start off with the visual in this game. Now, what will always be the greatest selling point to me for VR headsets, no matter what headset you buy, is how it can take a game that you normally play on the television and scale it to a level you never would have anticipated. I've seen this in No Man's Sky, Gran Turismo 7, and now I get to see it here in RoboQuest. It still retains that almost comic book-like texture that's similar to games like Saints and Sinners, and doesn't go overboard while still giving attention to detail in small areas you may have previously overlooked before. All of the robots look that much bigger and more imposing than in the flat version. Even the little gray worm that you encounter in the first stage kind of looks like that house that Majin Buu built in Dragon Ball Z, so far as the size goes. The gun noises still animate when you fire, and the stages themselves look like they've been brought to life and given a much more vibrant take. Now, the gameplay itself is intense. For anyone who wants a quick rundown, you basically start off with a standard pistol. You're able to pick a gun from a mystery box. You enter the areas, destroy bots, and do your best to get a high rank by earning XP and completing the area as soon as possible. As you continue to play, you will pick up wrenches that will give your base camp better upgrades for your runs, and power cells that you can use to upgrade weapons or get various perks as you play. It also has a level up system that increases your health and gives you various perks throughout your run. The game does have various levels of difficulty, and while I personally enjoy playing at standard or hard for the challenge, I don't judge anybody for taking it easier to get farther in the game. Shooting the guns themselves feels so satisfying. I love that they have still retained every weapon having a unique reload system and characterization from the flat version. Shooting the cannon in VR, shooting the laser, or even shooting twin Uzis, it just feels natural. Not to mention the headset rumble that you get when you get damaged, and the low health indicator that will go off when you start running low. The tutorial was pretty intuitive and helpful. I think the only thing that confused me was how to jump. Initially, I thought you had to press R3 instead of flicking the controller up to jump and flicking it down to slide, which, let me say, when you're actually playing and you get the hang of it, makes everything that much more fluid in movement when you're dodging, running, doing everything that you need to. I will admit that I have not gotten past the bosses from the first stage to get to the second new area, but that's the extra challenge that I wanted in VR. That's the extra challenge that I wanted added in this immersive take of RoboQuest. The music is still the same for the flat game, which gives the gameplay a different feel now that it's in VR. Sometimes it's nice to just stop, catch my breath, and listen to the dope techno music in the back. Just vibe to the beat before going to kill more bots. As I've said so far, the game is exactly what I expected when Flat to VR made their announcement. However, in this video, I do want to point out a bug or two that I experienced, and also some small changes that I would like to see. I've tried to avoid this in previous videos before, and just kind of focus on the overall fun that I have in the game. But I really want for this version to be the best version that it could be, so everyone else can enjoy and I can have that much more fun. One bug I encountered was not being able to have the door open for me. I got to a part in the game where I tried to open the door and it would not respond. I've kind of bounced around waiting for something to happen, walking around the stage. I even tried doubling back to try to pick up a gun that was left for me to try to see if it would react, but it wouldn't let me pick up the gun or look at the stats either. I'm sure this is a very small bug, but I do hope it gets fixed soon so that people don't have their rankings and scores affected by it. I kind of also want to bring attention to 3 weapons in particular that I used during my initial gameplay. First, we'll start with bow and arrow. The bow and arrow is fun to use, and in the flat version, it was one of my favorite weapons to use. But for some odd reason, I could not hold the bow in my right hand. I'm not sure if there's a setting available that I may have overlooked to make it so that I could use it in my right hand, but I usually would prefer to do so and hold the arrow with my left. The second one is the slingshot weapon. It's not really too much of a gripe. I kind of just wanted to be able to pull the slingshot physically like I did the bow and arrow. I personally like doing the manual reload, so I think that would just be a little fun thing to add. Lastly, the boomerang. Now, it may just be a skill issue, seeing as though I just got the game a day ago. But sometimes I would throw it and it wouldn't show up on screen, or I think it would be thrown behind me or in another direction. Could we just throw the boomerang or just kind of like fling our wrist in a general direction and it be thrown that way? I don't know how possible that is in VR, but I think it'd be kind of cool to just flick my wrist like I would a frisbee and it automatically get thrown in the direction that I'm looking at. All in all, RoboQuest VR really did their thing with this one. I've never played roguelike games before I got a VR headset, but now I only want to experience them in VR. RoboQuest is addictive, hours of fun, and whether you're playing flat or playing in VR, you won't be disappointed with a game like this. Now, I wanted to try something a little new with my reviews, and instead of giving a letter or a number score, I want to try awarding medals. It's kind of hard for me to say that a game is a 9 or a 10 due to slight differences or bugs, but I can say that it meets a certain standard of VR games that I would like to see. With that being said, I'm giving RoboQuest VR a gold medal. This game is what all roguelikes should strive to be, and I can't wait to see what future updates and multiplayer, because God do I want multiplayer, that the studios have in store for us. Thank you so much for watching. This is First Class Genius, and I'm signing out.